First up, as I'm sure you are all aware, the US government has been having some issues this week and many government services have been furloughed, including NASA. 97% of NASA employees are at home this week, and this is what you will see if you try to access NASA's website. However, I am very happy to say that certain services have been deemed exceptional and have been kept running. The LADEE spacecraft, the Hubble Space Telescope, certain satellites currently in orbit, and a skeleton crew who are supporting the astronauts on board the International Space Station. These services are all currently operational. So if you've been worrying about what's going on with the astronauts on board the International Space Station, don't worry, they're being taken care of. Other services like the Jet Propulsion Laboratory are still in service as they're not solely funded by NASA. I'm also very, very happy to announce that the November 18th launch of the Mars Atmosphere and Volatile Evolution Orbiter will go ahead as scheduled. This was touch and go for a little while, and that would have been really upsetting because the next possible launch date would have been 2016. So it is really good news to hear that this has been deemed an exception and it will go ahead as planned. More unexpected good news, an oil pipeline crew discovered an amazingly well-preserved 10-meter long dinosaur fossil in Canada. There's no word yet on the fossil's age or species, but it appears to be unusually complete and well preserved. Paleontologists are hopeful that the 10-meter long fossil uncovered so far could just be the surface, and there could be a complete 35-foot long dinosaur fossil down there. Work on the pipeline has been halted while the find is uncovered and examined, a process that could take months. Scientists have for the very first time mapped the clouds of an exoplanet. Exoplanet science has come on in leaps and bounds over the last 10 years. We've gone from knowing of just a handful of exoplanets to identifying hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. But work like this is moving away from just identifying exoplanets to actually figuring out what they're like. Kepler 7b is a Jupiter-like exoplanet, and this is what its clouds look like. Newly discovered fossil pollen shows that flowering plants first evolved 100 million years earlier than was previously thought, pushing the evolution of angiosperms back to the Triassic period 240 million years ago. Until now, the earliest examples of fossil pollen date back to the early Cretaceous period, and many paleontologists believe this was when flowering plants first evolved. They've attempted to pinpoint the date using molecular clocks, but no consensus had been reached. And finally, my bizarre science story of the week. Insect sex can help predict the weather. After noticing that the beetles they were studying mated less when rain was forecast, the team of researchers decided to study 3 unrelated species of insects to test their hypothesis that the insects were predicting the weather. Controlling for light, humidity, and temperature, the team noticed that the insects were less interested in copulation when the pressure dropped, as it does when rain is imminent. They suggest that insects behave this way to avoid potentially life-threatening rainfall. Thanks guys, that's it from me this week. Don't forget to subscribe, and as usual, all sources and further information links are in the information section. See you next week.